Today's topic, continuous 90-minute session, fractions and decimals. Fractions and decimals. First we will write some important key points. Some important key points that we will write. Suppose if there is a number, if the number can be represented on a number line, if the number that can be represented on a number line, that is called a real number. If the number cannot be represented on a number line, you cannot represent it on a number line, that is called an imaginary number. Real number is a number which can be expressed on a number line. Real number is a number which can be expressed on a number line. If there is a number, if you can express that number in a number line, so then it is called a real number. Imaginary number cannot be expressed on a number line. Basics to advanced level cannot be expressed on a number line. Cannot be expressed on a number line. I'll come to each and every point. First 5 minutes basics. Any number, if it can be represented on a number line, it is called a real number. Imaginary number is a number which cannot be expressed on a number line. Any number can be written as of the form a plus ib. A is called the real part and this is called the imaginary part. This is called the imaginary part. Listen carefully, sir. Real part as well as the imaginary part. Now see. Key point 1. First key point, natural numbers. Natural numbers. What do you mean by natural numbers? Numbers which we can count it. Countable numbers. Countable numbers. Any number that can be counted is called a natural number. Any number that can be counted is called the natural number. Natural number starts with 1. 1 to c and so on up to infinite. Something which you cannot count it, something which you cannot count it is called 0. Is called 0. 0 is neither a positive number nor a negative number. Neither a positive number nor a negative number. 0 is something which cannot be counted. 0 cannot be counted. Cannot be counted, right? Third one, what if the countable numbers, if it gets into the number line, if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? What if I take numbers to the left side of 0? Negative natural numbers. Numbers, right? So, natural numbers, there is 1 apple there, right? I took 1 apple from you. I took 2 oranges from you. I took 3 bananas from you, right? So, I took away. I am extracting it. So, that is called as -1, -2, -3 and so on. So, this is nothing but positive numbers. These are nothing but a positive numbers. This is nothing but a negative numbers. These are nothing but a negative numbers. 0 is neither positive nor negative. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So natural numbers, please write in the same order, sir. Natural numbers. Next is whole numbers. What is whole numbers? Whole numbers is nothing but 0 plus natural numbers. 0 plus natural numbers. Whole numbers is 0 plus natural numbers. Natural numbers are the numbers which can be counted. It starts with 1 to infinite. 0 is nothing but neither positive nor negative. This is negative, this is positive, right? So the centroid of all these values is nothing but 0. Whole number is 0 plus natural numbers. Whole number is 0 plus natural numbers. This is natural numbers. This is negative natural numbers. This is 0 is neither negative nor positive. So if I combine all these values, if I combine all these values, I will get integers. I will get integers. So what is integers? Integers is negative numbers, and then these 0, and then it is called positive numbers. Negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. Negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. So any positive number which is an integer is called a positive integer. Positive integer. Positive integer and natural number both are synonyms. Please write in the same order, sir. Positive integer and natural numbers both are synonyms. Both are synonyms. Both are synonyms. Now if you see, this is negative. 0 and positive is called as non-negative. Non-negative integers. Non-negative integers. When I say non-negative integers, non-negative, other than negative. Other than negative means it is nothing but 0 and so on up to infinite. 0 to anything is called as an whole number. Extremely important point, otherwise you might get a doubt. Whole number and non-negative integers both are synonyms. Positive integers and natural numbers both are synonyms. Extremely important synonym which we will use it repeatedly in our linear equation related problems. In a linear equation, he might ask you, instead of finding the number of natural numbers, he will ask you find the number of positive integral solutions. Instead of asking find the whole number solution, he will ask you find the total number of non-negative integers. Non-negative integers and whole numbers. Non-negative integers and whole numbers. Positive integers and natural numbers. Positive integers and natural numbers both are same. Positive integer and natural numbers both are same. Both are same. I hope it is clear, right? This is an integer. Now, first we started with 1. 1, 2, 3 and so on up to infinite, which can be counted. What if I don't count? Then came 0. What if there is a negative natural number, which I call it as a negative integer? What is the combination of all these? Negative integer, 0 and positive integer. I called it as an integer. Because the natural numbers are taking positive values from integers, I called that natural numbers as positive integral numbers. Positive integral numbers. If the integers are taking a negative, they are called as negative integers. Non-negative integers, other than negative integers, other than negative, there is 0 and positive. There is 0 and positive. Because I am including 0, whole number set starts with 0. Whole number set starts with 0. Natural number set starts with 1. Natural number set starts with 1. Now, integers will always have denominator 1. Integers will always have denominator 1, right? Or if they can be condensed to denominator 1. 6 by 2 is 3 by 1, denominator 1. 12 by 3 is 4 by 1, denominator 1. Remember, if the denominator is 1 and the numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other, then the number is called as an integer. That's a mathematical definition. HCF of A comma B equivalent to 1, B equivalent to 1, then it is an integer. We will not get into deep into right high level and mathematical definitions. Integer, it is clear. Next one. Now comes the introduction of rational number. Rational number. Rational numbers. What is a rational number? You take any number. You take any number. If it can be represented in the form of P by Q. P and Q are integers. P and Q are integers. Q not equivalent to 0. Q not equivalent to 0. It is called a rational number. Please put a star mark on this. P and Q are integers. If any number can be represented in the form of P by Q, P and Q are integers. Integers means it can take negative, 0 or positive. Q cannot be 0. It becomes an undefined number. If you can express a number in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers, where Q not equivalent to 0, it is a rational number. It is a rational number. For example, 3 by 4. 3 is an integer, 4 is an integer. This is a rational number. This is a rational number. 6 by 1 is a rational number. It is represented in the form of a P by Q. 6 is an integer, 1 is an integer. 6 by 1 is an integer. That means integer is a subset of rational number. Integer is a subset of rational number. Integer is a part of a rational number. Integer is a part of the rational number where the denominator is equivalent to 1 and P and Q are co-prime to each other. If you write any number in the form of P by Q where P and Q are integers, Q not equivalent to 0. For example, 22 by 7. 22 is an integer, 7 is an integer. 22 by 7 is an integer. Root 7 by 1. Root 7 is not an integer. Root 7 is not an integer. So it is an irrational number. It is an irrational number. It is an irrational number. If the numerator or denominator is not taking an integer value, then the number is said to be an irrational number. Then the number is said to be an irrational number. A rational number is a number which is of the form P by Q. P by Q. Q not equivalent to 0. P and Q should be in integer. P and Q should be in integer. Right? Still some more examples which we will solve. Root 5 power 100. Root 5 power 100 is 5 power 50. 5 power 50 can be written as 5 power 50 by 1. 5 power 50 is an integer, 1 is an integer. So the answer is, it is a rational number. It is a rational number. A rational number is a number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q. P by Q is an integer, Q not equivalent to 0. Now see, this is nothing but a definition of a fraction. P by Q is a fraction. Now comes some important key points. A fraction will definitely result in decimal. A fraction will result in decimal, or decimals can be converted into a fraction under certain circumstances. A fraction can be converted into decimal. A decimal can be converted into a fraction under certain circumstances. Now, what is a fraction? A fraction will be of the form P by Q. What is the definition of this one? P and Q are integers. P and Q are integers. Q not equivalent to 0. P and Q are integers. Q not equivalent to 0. For example, 2 by 5 is there. 2 by 5 is nothing but 0.4. It is a decimal. Suppose 2 by 7 is there, which is nothing but 0.285714, 285714, and so on, and so on. I'll come to this point. If I take 1 by 9 is there, which is nothing but 0.11111111. Right? So any fraction will be of the form P by Q. P and Q are integers, Q not equivalent to 0. If you take these fraction, if you take the fraction 2 by 5, it is 0.4. After 4, nothing is there. After 4, nothing is there. This decimal is ending. This decimal is ending. It is ending. Suppose we tell VT terminus, Nampalli terminus. Terminus means it is the dead point. Terminal means it is the dead point. You take any railway station, we call it bus terminal, right? We call it as a train railway station terminal. Terminal means that one thing which ends. There are no more further values. So it is 0.4, which is terminating, which is ending. This is called the terminating decimal. This is called the terminating decimal. Terminal means which is ending. Any fraction can be converted into a decimal. But if you convert into decimal, some values it will end. Some values it will not end. When I say it will not end, that means when I say it is not ending, then the next question comes. Are the digits repeating? are the digits non-repeating. Terminal means it will end. Non-terminal means it is continue. If it continues, will there be any particular pattern? Are the digits getting repeated again? Or there are some other digits which is getting repeated again? I hope you got the point. Here 285714 is getting repeated. Repeated is recursion. Recursive function. Same function, use it repeatedly to get further more values. So this is nothing but 285714 is getting repeated, recurring. 1 is getting recurring. So another example in decimal is recurring decimal. Recurring decimal. Recurring decimal. We can say that here 285714 is repeating. Here 1 is repeating. Terminating decimal. Decimal which terminates. Recurring decimal. Decimal which repeats. Decimal which terminates. Decimal which repeats. Now, what if it does not repeat? What if, suppose if the question is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 5, 4, 6, 3, 2, 1 and so on. There is no repetition of that same digits again and again. 1, 2, 3 is not repeated. 7, 8, 9 it is not repeated. Some random digits it is keeping on moving. Some random digits it is keeping on moving. So this is nothing but non-terminating and non-recurring. Listen carefully, every key point I will discuss it. Sri Shailam, I will come to the point. First listen to fractions, right? So in the fraction, when I say P and Q are integers, what is an integer? It is a negative number, 0 and positive. So you can also take a negative number. I hope it is clear. So P and Q are integers, I said. I did not say positive integers. So when I say a fraction, when a fraction gets converted into a decimal value, I will get a terminating decimal, I will get a recurring decimal, I will get a non-terminating decimal. Now a smart student might ask me, sir, just by looking at a fraction, can I say that it will end with, it is a terminating decimal? Or can I say that it is a recurring decimal? Or can I say that it is a non-terminating, non-recurring decimal? Yes, you can tell it. The next slide is extremely important. Make a note of the next slide. By looking at a fraction, we said that there are 4 conditions that can be formed. One is it will end, which is terminating. Another end, the same digits will be repeated, which we called it as a recurring decimal. Then something will not end, non-terminating. Something will not get repeated, which is non-recurring. Terminating, recurring, non-terminating, non-recurring. Terminating, recurring, non-terminating, non-recurring. Now, 7th point is an extremely important point. Please make a note of this. Very, very important point. Very, very important point. Most of the teachers will not teach this, which will result in a lot of confusion to the students. A fraction is of the form numerator by denominator. A fraction is of the form numerator by denominator. Case 1. dr is denominator. dr is denominator. dr is denominator. If the denominator takes only powers of 2, if the denominator takes only powers of 2 or only powers of 5 or only powers of 5 or only powers of 2 comma 5, only powers of 2 comma 5, then this will result in terminating decimal. Please write down. Then this will result in terminating decimal. This will result in terminating decimal. This will result in terminating decimal. Very, very important key point. Please make a note of it in your notebook. Make a note of it in your notebook. Gone are the days very easy questions are asked in fractions and decimals. There is a lot of depth in these concepts. You take a dr is denominator. If the denominator takes only powers of 2 or only powers of 5 or only powers of 2 and 5, then you can easily say that the fraction will result in a terminating decimal. The fraction, without even computing, you can say that the fraction will result in a terminating decimal. Fraction will result in a terminating decimal only if the denominator is in the, either it will be in the powers of 2 or is in the powers of 5 or it will take in the powers of 2 comma 5. What is this famous theorem? This theorem is called as Fermat's little theorem. Fermat's little theorem. Fermat's little theorem helps us in telling whether a fraction results in a terminating or a recurring decimal. It will be a terminating decimal only if the denominator takes only powers of 2 or only powers of 5 or the combinations of 2 and 5. Now why it is happening? Proof. You know that I teach thematic based learning. At the beginning of every class, you might see a slide. General way of learning, Anil Nayar's way of learning. Right? This is formula based, this is logic based. This is memory based, this is concept based. This is direct substitution of formulae. Anil Nayar's way of learning is using W and H relation questions. Why, what, when, where and how. This will tell you what is the difference between Indian Standard Time and Greenwich Mean Time. General education tells you it is 5.5 hours. By heart it. Anil Nayar's way of learning tells you that 82.5 degrees east longitude moves through India. To move from one place to another place, it takes 4 minutes. 82.5 is 165 by 2. Into 4 is 330 minutes, which is 5.5 hours. Why, what, when, where and how. I am more interested in teaching you W and H related questions. Why it is a terminating decimal? A power p minus 1 divided by p, it is 1. P is a prime number other than 2 and 5 according to this theorem. P is a prime number other than 2 and 5. Reminder of A comma P, it is 1. Sir, why it should be only powers of 2 or only powers of 5 or powers of 2 and 5? This is the Fermat's little theorem. Suppose 1 by 2 is there. Suppose if I want to convert into a decimal or an equivalent percentage, if I have to convert into decimal or an equivalent percentage, what I will do? I will multiply with 100 if it is percentage. It is 50 percentage. But listen carefully. I am multiplying with 100. What are the prime bases of 100? Which is 2 square into 5 square. What are the prime bases of 100? Which is 2 square into 5 bases. Now if you see, exactly the prime bases of 100 are 2 and 5. That is the reason denominator can take only powers of 2 or only powers of 5 or powers of 2 and 5. 100 is divisible by 2. 100 is divisible by 5. 100 is divisible by combination of 2 square and 5 square. 1 by 5. 1 by 5 is nothing but 1 by 5 into 100. Perfectly divisible. 100 prime bases are 2 and 5. Definitely I will get a terminating decimal. Definitely I will get a terminating decimal. 1 by 20. 1 by 20 is 1 by 4 into 5. 100 is divisible by 5, which is nothing but 5 percentage, which is a terminating decimal. 100 prime bases are 2 and 5. Because 100 prime bases are 2 and 5, the fraction will result in a terminating decimal only if the denominator is either power of 2 or power of 5 or it is a combination of 2 and 5 powers. I hope the concept is crystal clear to you. Examples. This is Fermat's little theorem. Example. Not a single doubt, you will get it in my class. Examples. 1 by 8, 1 by 125, 1 by 16, 5 by 32, 7 by 19, 8 by 25, 23 by 200, 23 by 200. Which of the following are terminating or non-terminating? That's all. The question is it terminating or non-terminating? That's all. 1 by 8. Very easy. 8 is powers of 2. So it is terminating. 125 is powers of 5. It is terminating. 16 is power of 2. It is terminating. 32 is 2 power 5. Terminating. 19 is not power of 2 and 5, which is non-terminating. 25 is 5 square, power of 2, which is terminating. 200 is, which is nothing but 2 square in 2 cube into 5 square, 25 into 8, powers of 2 and 5, which is terminating. I hope this logic is clear. Taken any fraction, condense the fraction into an simplest form. Suppose for example, 24 by 75 is there. Condense it to a simplest form. Do not tell me that 75 contains power of 3. Condense into a simplest form. 3 8s are 3 25s are 8 by 25. 8 by 25. I hope it is clear. Condense into a simplest form. Condense it into a simplest form. Right? Condense it into a simplest form. Please take this example. Please don't say the answers in the live chat. I don't ask you any answer. Like some of the channels which gives you timer and waste your time, I will teach you, listen. That's all. I am an author of 9 mathematical books. Sit and listen. A 90 minutes class is 90 minutes I will speak. And 90 minutes of my learning I am giving it to you. I am not here to tell you to acha kiya, right and everything. When I ask a question, there will be some twist in that question. At that time answer it. Then you will understand your level of mathematics. Please write down this example. 24 by 75. 24 by 75. 8 3 8s are 3 25s are 8 by 25, which is 5 cube. Answer is it is terminating. Please write down, sir. Otherwise, half-baked knowledge. Youngsters also start teaching nowadays. People do not have a great understanding, got some good marks, and they think that they can teach. Right? Teaching is quite different from scoring marks. Teaching involves beyond scoring marks. If numerator and denominator, HCF of numerator and denominator should be 1. And that means numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. Numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. Numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. Either it should be a power of 2 or it should be a power of 5 or it should be a combination of 2 and 5. Then it will result in terminating. Please take a screenshot of this, or the best way to learn is write it down in your notebook. I teach more number of concepts so that you can solve more number of problems. Numerator by denominator. If numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other, 24 and 75 are not co-prime to each other. HCF of 24, 75, it is 3. 8 by 25, 5 by cube. I hope it is clear. Now question came. We can easily determine whether it is terminating or non-terminating. Now next is, what if it is not terminating? Please write down. What if it is not terminating? What if? Thematic based learning, Finland education system kind of learning, where everything is properly structured. What if the numerator and denominator is non-terminating? Terminating easily you can see. What if it is non-terminating? What if it is non-terminating? I hope it is clear. What if it is non-terminating? Non-terminating means, case 1, either the denominator can be of the form p1 power n, where p1 is a prime base, Case 2, denominator is of the form p1 power n into p2 power n and so on, where p1, p2 are prime numbers, where p1, p2 and so on are prime numbers. Listen carefully why these two cases came. Take some numbers, examples. Take some numbers which are of the form numerator by denominator. Denominator is 9. 9 is nothing but 3 square. First case it came. Denominator is 24, which is 2 cube into 3 power 1. Second case we came. Denominator is 42. 42 is 2 into 3 into 7. Second case it get. Denominator is 120. 2 cube into 3 into 5. Second case I got. Denominator is 81. 3 power 4. Can I say that if the denominator is not taking power of 2 or 5 or power of 2 and 5, only these two cases will emerge? Kindly reply in the live chat if this concept is clear to you. So if the denominator is not equivalent to 2, 5, 2 and 5, can I say that these are the cases that will emerge? Is there anybody who is getting any other case? Now kindly reply in the live chat. Are you getting any other? Are you getting any other cases other than these two cases? Other than these two cases, are you getting any other this case? Are you getting anything other than this case? Which case are you getting it? If you are getting a case, please mention the case. Please mention the case. If the denominator is 1, it becomes an integer. Denominator 1 not possible. Denominator 0 not possible. Right? If the denominator I will take the value, not the sign. Which all cases it is not possible? Denominator it is p1 power n. p1 is prime number or multiple numbers. p1 power n, p2 power n. Under these two cases, it will result in recurring. Then another question will arise. Not a single doubt you will get it, sir. Numerator by denominator. Numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. Numerator and denominator are co-prime to each other. If they are co-prime to each other and the denominator is other than 2, 5 are the powers of 2 and 5, then it becomes a non-terminating. In that non-terminating, I will discuss the case. Under what cases it will become a recurring decimal. Under what cases it will become a recurring decimal. Recurring means repetition. Non-terminating will result in two cases. Recurring and non-recurring. Recurring means the digits will get repeated. Repeated digits in a block. Repeated digits in a block. Recurring means repeated digits in a block. Case 1, n is p1 power n, where p1 is a prime number. Maximum number of digits, please write down, sir. Maximum number of digits, maximum number of repeating digits, maximum number of repeating digits in a block will be given by p1 power n into 1 minus 1 by p1. p1 power n into 1 minus 1 by p1. Those of you who have listened to my reminders class, this is nothing but the Fermat's theorem. I will discuss the application of Fermat's theorem in this decimal. Please write down this. N is p1 power n is 1. Maximum number of repeating digits in this block will be p1 power n into 1 minus 1 by p1. p1 power n into 1 minus 1 by p1. That means after this many maximum number of digits, it will get repeated. Example, please see here. Example, 1 by 49. 1 by 49. It is 0 point. How many maximum number of digits repeated in this block? Maximum number of digits repeated in this block. I am saying that it is a recurring decimal. If it is a recurring decimal, it should get repeated. How many maximum number of digits it will get repeated? 49 is nothing but 7 square. So 7 square into 1 minus 1 by 7, which is nothing but 49 into 6 by 7, which is 42. Maximum number of digits which will be repeated in this is 42 digits. That is exactly the reason the students who bought our number system package will understand everything very clearly, because I discussed in the reminders theorem, Fermat's theorem, a power phi of p by p it is 1 if p is a prime number. If p is a prime number, phi of p, how to determine? 49 is nothing but 7. 49 is a composite number. Composite number, what is the quotient function? 49 into 6 by 7. 7 sevens are 42. Are you all with me? A power 42 by 49 is 1. A power 42 by 49 is 1. The factors of 42 may give 1, may not give 1. Are you all with me? We did it in reminders. The students who did not purchase our number system package, it might be little discomfort for you to understand it, but we have done close to 150 problems on reminders where I explained this one. So because it is composite, you take it as an Euler's theorem. I hope it is clear. The students who have understood it, my old students, kindly reply. (49) is 7 square. So answer is 7 square into 1 minus 1 by 7. 49 into 6 by 7, it is 42. Actually, what is this 42? 42 is nothing but the quotient function of that remainder. Quotient function will tell you the remainder when it gives 1. So after that, the same digits will get repeated. I hope it is clear.